On the Mike with Mike. This is radio play.
How you say we going corporate? Nah, we just corner boys with the corner office. I'm not the cap table, what this is. Not that cap table, what we live is.
No one does it better than Mike in Biz on the Mike with Mike. Check it out.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back on the Mike with Mike. This is the Ox Foxx Show. I'm Mike King. This is NFL info at its best. We got the man in the building. We're coming to you from a different location this time. We got Ken Ox and Deon Foxx is with us. Gentlemen, welcome back to the program.
Welcome.
It has been a minute. I was, on the physically unable to whatever. We're not Deon Foxx.
He was on the pup list. Physically unable to perform.
The pup list just make you sound little. Not only are you not able to play, it just seems like you just little.
I mean, that's the acronym they came up with, physically, P, unable, U, to perform, P, pup.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is Deon Foxx. He got a master's in something. I don't know. I don't know this. All right, Deon Foxx, let folks know who you are and what you do.
Deon Foxx, native of Richmond, Virginia, went to Meadowbrook High School, James Madison University, got a specialty degree from Virginia Union, got my master's from University of Concordia in Portland, Oregon. Currently about to start working on my doctorate, trying to use all the faculties I have before I lose them. And I'm the president of NFL Alumni Chapter here in Richmond, Virginia, along with my esteemed colleague, the number 9 high school pick.
He
was gonna let us know, but I'm gonna let everybody else know. the number 9 recruit, out of high school.
Appreciate that.
You said the reason they did, because back in the dark ages, they didn't have stuff like that.
Yeah, I came out about 5 or 6 years before Ken. So, as far as rankings, I'm oblivious to that stuff. You know what I'm saying?
So when you walk into a room and say, I'm a bad man, does that come on?
You know what?
Right.
I just walk into a room and, I'm like, my confidence speaks for myself. I'm like Deon. My confidence speaks.
You don't need cologne.
I don't need cologne. I got confidence. So my confidence speaks. But you know what? I'm going to say this to everybody in the most humble way. You have to be careful with your confidence, because there's a fine line between confidence and cockiness. And some people may not like it. But I'm going to tell you like he said it, and it stuck with me.
Don't say that line.
I'm going to say it. Please.
Don't
let my confidence fuel your insecurities.
Oh, I love it.
You know what I'm saying? Because you should not be insecure about yourself, about anything that you do in this world. If you go for it, you go for it. 100 miles an hour. That's what I'm going to do, and that's what everybody in this room is doing. So you should do the same.
There you go. All right, Ken Ox and Don.
Ken Ox time here, Chester, born and raised, Virginia Tech Hokies, drafted by the Atlanta Falcons, got to go to a Super Bowl, got to go and play in the XFL against Deon. In that world,
Let me ask you real quick. So when you guys see each other at a game like that, all the way from Richmond, do you guys look up and say, yo, what's up? Or
at that time, we didn't really know each other.
We didn't really know each other because of the age
that we was from.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but we didn't know each other like we know each other now.
Gotcha.
Because of the age difference. Like I said, it's like 5-6 years between us. So you're talking about I was out of college before he got to college.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I understand.
Yeah, but it's still when you see each other and from the respective places, you say, hey fam, all that good stuff. But
gotcha.
Yeah, we give respect to each other.
Now we also got to show you some love for another successful event. I saw you out there down in Chester.
Yeah, we had turkey trot. We did a little running for some food, and we're gonna donate some money to some different places to help with that food in this holiday seasons, and then also just trying to get people to want to stay fit and be fit and just move around. That's the biggest thing is how can we stay the course and make sure that we're always on the upright. Turkey Trot was a success, and now we're moving on to the next event, which we're planning. We had to table the ice rink until next year. But nonetheless, Fox Sports Group, we're continuously doing things in the community to help not only community grow, but especially put our hands on the youth and guide them.
There you go. These gentlemen doing some big things out there. Congratulations. Kudos to them. All righty, gentlemen. We are smack dab in the middle of the season.
Yes.
So we just had a game on Thursday evening. Let's get a recap of that. And really quickly, before we get to that, let's talk really quickly, maybe 30 seconds or so, the season as up to this point. Some of the big surprises, some of the disappointments. Fox will go first.
The standings, some of the teams are exactly where you thought they were going to be. The Chiefs, the top of their division. The Ravens, they thought it was to be a little more of a battle. They're holding the game lead over the Bengals. And then you're talking about, well, let's talk about some teams that are not where people thought they were going to be. The Raiders, okay? They're bottom of the division with just 3 wins. Broncos, the big trade for Russell Wilson, Richmond guy. They thought it was going to be a big thing there, and 3 wins. Steelers, 3 wins. It's not. Some of these teams is not where they thought they were going to be, and Rams, Super Bowl champs, 3 wins. And then the Vikings surprising everybody. At 9-2, the comeback kids. Like every single week, they find a way.
Yeah. And that's the bigger part of all of it is this: you're not expecting the things that's happening this year, and that's the part of the NFL. You look at the parity and what it's given to you week in and week out. But last week you had guys go down shoulders. You didn't think Josh Allen was going to play this week, or you thought he was going to be as bad or wouldn't have played as well as he did in the game, and still running around like he fully healthy. With his elbow and stuff. And then Stafford, he's on concussion protocol. Last week you thought that he hasn't been playing. He's been playing more like was at the Lions than he actually been playing. But their defense hasn't been the key to anything as well. Those are the things that you're wondering why. But the New York Giants, they are who I thought they were. And when you look at their schedule, winning games by 2 and 3 points. And now, hopefully, they're trying to get it back, but they're losing games by 2 and 3 points. And that's just the parity of just the whole, the whole season. You look at the Colts. The Colts, you bring in Matt Ryan, thinking that that's what they needed to fix.
That was the last piece.
Yeah. And the wheels aren't on. Now they fire the head coach and they bring in not a piece, and that's so crazy, not a coach from within, but
he's sitting in the booth with ESPN.
A consultant.
And everybody liked him.
Yeah.
But he's a former Colt as well.
Yeah. Yes.
Colt as well. And he's friends with the owner. Which always helps.
But conversely with that, I can say the same thing about the Commanders. Mm-hmm. They went out and got your boy.
Don't put that on me.
And I'll say your boy because he's an ex-Philly Eagle, okay? Yeah. And they thought that he might have been the piece at quarterback since Smith went down last year, and they were going back and forth with the different guys that they had in QB2, QB3 roles that they had last year.
Why don't they just go ahead and show some respect to Taylor Heineke?
I guess they felt like he hadn't done enough yet, but he
just continues to win.
Yeah, and he finds a way. I mean, and even though they dropped a couple that at the last minute that they should have won because of a couple of mistakes that were made, he's still sitting at 6-5 right now.
Yes.
Okay. I mean, and 5 out of the last 6 games as a starter, he's won. So he's earned some respect right now, and if he keeps pushing, he end up getting it. But you have some guys that come from a bigger school that have bigger names out of college. He came from ODU, so they're thinking, okay, well, we'll give him a shot. We'll throw him in there. You got guys that stick around in the league for years because they came from a bigger school, and they'll be backups everywhere else. And that's just how it is.
Yep.
All righty, let's talk about the Thursday night game.
Which one?
Yeah. We'll start.
Oh, that's right. It was that. We don't want to go with that Cowboys game. I'm just gonna say.
That's a stick on that one. I thought initially the Cowboys they were gonna blow them out, honestly, and then the Giants they fought back in it, and then when you look at that third quarter and what the Cowboys started to put together, and then the Giants, they're still, again, you look at that score, 20-28, and
The Giants are there. And so when we look at the NFC East, everybody's there. I mean, if you had told the Washington folks early on that they'd be where they are, they would have been like happy.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden, they're looking pretty good.
Yeah, and that's they can, and really when you look at the divisional, and where one is in there, you're 1-2 with Washington. They beat Philly. Was it Washington beat Philly?
Yes, sir.
Oh,
Washington beat. It was just like,
Hey, look, and that didn't come from me, right?
Yeah.
So you see who it came from, right?
disrespect.
I'm
The dude
sorry.
went to
I'm
Virginia
sorry.
Tech. We're gonna be left. Oh, yes.
But and it's crazy looking at that division because they're beating each other. So, and can you, again, we talked about this earlier, can you arguably say the NFC is one of the stronger conferences?
NFC is one of the hardest and stronger conferences. I believe so. People don't understand how tough it is to be in the NFC East, being one that has played in the NFC East. It's one of those things that the NFC East has always been the one that has been the redheaded stepchild as far as, well, they're not doing this, they're not doing that, they're not doing this. It wasn't that long ago where the NFC East
Was the joke.
was the joke. And then before that, they were sitting at the top of the pile because they were winning Super Bowls. Philly won Super Bowls, Dallas won Super Bowls. It's different teams that won multiple Super Bowls, in the NFC East. And then now they went through, what they call a slump, but everything goes full circle.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of other teams out here that are surprises right now that people didn't, think would be as good as they are this year.
Yeah.
The thing that got me with Dallas, though, because Pollard had been the one that was, they said Zeke was out and he was hurt, and I'm a football fan, so I'm wondering what's going on, and I'm trying to look, between the lines. Tony Pollard was in there and he was, doing work without Zeke being there. Usually they're used to the two-headed monster because you're not used to what's going on. And Pollard was, they were talking in one game about his durability. They didn't think he'd carry the ball, no more than 15 times. Next thing you know, he's got like 22 carries and like 7 pass receptions and 3 touchdowns or 2 touchdowns, so I guess Zeke had something to prove because you could see his face sitting on the sideline.
Zeke was looking kind of spry yesterday.
So he jumped out there and had, 91 yards rushing and a touchdown. So I guess he's like, okay, I'm still relevant. I'm let y'all know I'm still relevant.
Yeah.
Feed me.
Yeah, I need you to feed me. I need to keep eating. So I guess he's going, to stop, I guess, been put on the sideline for any type of injuries. The difference between being injured and being hurt. If you're hurt, you can go back in. If you're injured, then you got to sit out. So, it's some thought processes going on right now.
There you go. Are people finished disrespecting Buffalo?
I don't.
No.
Because they still have to win the big game. Even if they get there, can they? Because you think about that. They've been 5-4 when back in the day with Kelly. But even if they get there, is it gonna be a letdown?
I think it's so long ago, that whole Norwood and Kelly thing, that people now, they don't even remember. I think that's too far back for them. I mean, the people from Buffalo, they understand.
But all the
Like,
Super
I'm from
Bowls
Philly,
didn't come down to his foot, though.
No.
They remember that one the most because that was the one they were the closest to winning. I mean, let's be for real. That was the one where they say, you got one job. Is to kick the ball.
Yeah.
But I mean, it happens. I look like this because we both had coaches that said it should never come down to that.
Yeah.
You look at all the other things that happen during the course of the game. However, if it does,
you had one job.
You had one job. Pressure either bust pipes or make diamonds.
Yeah.
It's so many diamonds running around.
Not that
a
many.
whole lot of busted pipes out there.
Yeah.
Yes, that is true. Okay. The first game yesterday. What's the first game?
First game was Buffalo and Detroit.
Yeah.
Oh, now what I want to talk to you about was the culture.
The culture?
The culture. it seems like the culture may be shifting in Detroit.
I don't think so. I just think they win. With the games that they win, you hope it does, but I think
What do you further explain what you mean
I
so
think I
that I
feel
can
I know what
respond
you're
It
to it?
saying.
seems like Detroit is one of those places like when you got drafted and they said you were going to go to a bad team and you're Peyton Manning, you're like, nope, I'm not going there because it's where great careers go to die. When you go to Detroit, it just seems like we're going to find a way to lose and mess it up.
At one point, I think it was, or well,
I think so still.
people's thought processes was like that.
Mhm.
However, now, I actually watched Hard Knock series
Yeah.
this summer, and I watched it because two of the guys that are coaches I
Mhm.
played against.
Okay.
Okay, one of them is Aaron Glenn.
Mm.
I call Aaron Mighty Mike. Undersized guy, played corner, was a return man for the Jets back in the day, and his hunger and his fire, and then seeing how he gets, into the guys' heads in the meetings, whether it's individual or group meetings on the defense, and how he motivates them, and then the head coach as well is very motivating. So you look at how hard, like Detroit used to get blown out all the time over
All
the
the
last
time.
over the last 4 or 5 years,
Yeah.
like 2-3 touchdowns. You're talking about 7 or less points
Mhm.
every game except
This year,
for 2
yeah.
this year.
Mhm.
Okay, so they're in every game. So it's like we talked about earlier, they have to find whatever it is to get that,
Yeah.
to get over that hump, because they could have beat Buffalo yesterday
Yeah, they were in that game the whole time.
the whole time.
And I spent 3 weeks up there. I was after I left the Falcons, they pulled me in, and it's ownership, and then also they want. Well, first going the ownership. Ownership has to be the catalyst to helping everything else move in a cultural standpoint, and because you look at the different groups and how they do things, and I think until they are able to get past the stigma of the Barry Sanders, the Megatrons, those guys that left, they still have yet to get that next great guy in there. And that's probably what their difference is right now, is they don't have that dude. And so once they get that dude in there, can they then keep him happy or win enough?
Or get him help.
Yes. And so Barry, it was just him. When the Megatron, it was just him.
When you seemingly get mega stars just walk away, it's just like, how fed up are they? Barry Sanders, it's like he pulled the Tim Duncan before that. Yo, I'm done. Thank you.
Yeah.
And ride off or like Megatron.
Mm-hmm.
You look at that and say, I'm asking you to get me help. I'm asking you. At that point, what can you do?
Trade him. And then get
But
something.
see, how
was not going.
the kind of guy,
the problem.
if you're not going to be the one who's going to demand the trade, you're not going to be that problem until they ship you out.
Yeah. And
you ask nicely.
And both of them weren't those dudes anyways.
Right.
They wanted, hey, I'm doing all I can do. Can you bring somebody? They're not the TOs. They aren't those.
But they refused to trade Barry. You know that, right?
That is very true.
They refused to trade him.
Yeah.
They told him, we're not giving up your rights. If you walk away, that's fine. If you decide to come back, you still have to come back to us first because you have to fulfill your contract.
Yeah.
So that was 15 years ago, maybe 20.
Yeah, about 20.
Do you think that they could pull that off now?
Man,
or a person could just act up until.
But then you don't want to act up to the point where nobody else wants. Yeah. Like, for instance, Antonio Brown.
Yes.
Okay. The shirt incident, this last one.
It's more than just that incident with him. There's a lot of things that they overlook, and he's a good athlete, man. Once he's out there and he's focused on what he's supposed to do on the field. However, it's image.
The shenanigans and the hijinks.
And everything is image when it's in the league. Everything is image.
And now it's almost like because of social media,
it's amplified.
Yeah, and these guys are.
It's amplified. And that's your free ad from
ladies and gentlemen, that is what we do here. This is NFL Talks Fox and Ox. That's how they do it down in Chester.
I don't know where that came from.
I don't know where that came from, but we're rocking and rolling here. All righty, games coming up this week. Ox, what you got?
Tampa Bay and Cleveland.
Mm.
Tampa Bay is I think
turning around.
Yeah, I think they've righted their ship. And so ever since the divorce papers were certified, Brady's been winning.
He said that the divorce papers are
All right,
certified.
well,
hey,
hey,
that's-
you and Fox, you had already talked about that. That is the place where you go to play football. Like that's the easy part.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know, when the home life is in shambles.
Yeah.
And so, all righty. Do you think that Brady let them know when they were thinking that he was done, that he had to remind people it wasn't that long ago that I could shut things down?
Yeah.
I think people started to question whether he had gotten old overnight.
Well, you know what? A lot of people do that as soon
Mhm.
as you don't start producing, and then when you do something that, oh, okay, well maybe we were wrong. Same thing with Aaron Rodgers.
Or when you have just an off night or
Mhm.
two, like you got to think both of them jokers been playing at a level
Like
a
this,
level-
that high.
And so now he average is like, hey, that ain't.
But is he average, or is the talent around him
Yeah.
not at the level that it used to be?
Yeah.
You still have to look at that, because everybody thinks that, oh, well, he's so great, he's this, he's that.
Mhm.
Look at what made him great. He's not
Yeah.
throwing passes to himself. He's not handing the ball off to himself.
Mhm.
Either one of them. You got to have guys around you. For instance, what you do in this studio, you
Mhm.
can't do everything in this studio by yourself and have the show take off like it's supposed to take off, no matter
No.
what you do. It's help that you have. You have supporting people, what they call a supporting cast. Brady has a supporting cast. If you have a good supporting cast, you're only as good as your supporting cast. There's things
Mhm.
they used to tell us when we
Yeah.
played. The 11 of you out there on the field, you're only as good as your weakest link.
Yeah.
And if your weakest link is weak, then the whole thing breaks down. Nobody does well. So
Because the weak link is going to get exposed.
exactly. And that's what happens, in all aspects of life.
Mhm.
But right now they were talking about that because the main thing with Brady, he wasn't winning.
Yep.
They was dropping games. They thought for sure he came back this year, man, had a shot to going back, at least to the playoffs. And once again, it's a whole new season. Do what you need to do. Get a couple trades. Hey, boom, we're back in the bowl. Didn't look so good the first 5 weeks.
And now this is the other side of it is now with Deshaun Watson, he's able to practice now. So does that, because Cleveland isn't just like the Colts and just like Detroit, where they're not getting blown out either. They're just, and then they showed against Cincinnati that, like, all right, this is who we really are. Now you get someone at that QB position that can handle it. That's gonna be interesting. But I like Tampa Bay, even with Cleveland getting plus 3 points in us.
All right. What you got next?
We got the Cincinnati and Tennessee at Tennessee.
Mm.
Tennessee getting 3 points.
I'm gonna go with Tennessee.
Yeah, I like Tennessee too, because
But Fox, you are the Joe Burrow swag guy.
No, I like his swag, but you know what?
3 points.
That monster on the other side that wear deuce with the dreads that get through there.
Yeah.
You have to look at his stats and how he produces. Okay, he may get 2.5 yards a carry first quarter, second
And
quarter.
then all of a sudden it turns to 3.5 to 4 yards a carry in that third and fourth quarter. And he's getting through the line, and the linebackers and the DBs are looking at him like it's time for a business decision.
A business decision.
And
how do I hit him?
And Tennessee they're 3-1 at home. And so, and Bengals are 3-3 at home, but not on the road. So, and they've been struggling on the road. So I like the defense of Tennessee, and that they can run it out and keep it out of Burrow's hand.
And the Bengals don't have Claypool anymore.
Oh, yeah. And they don't know if they will get Chase back still.
So
yeah.
NFL Talks, Fox and Knox here, ESPN Richmond. That's where you find us. Next up,
Houston and Miami.
I'm going Miami.
Yeah,
that's hands down.
Yeah, at Miami too. And Houston they stink right now.
Miami is on an upswing right now. They're clicking right now.
Yeah,
they're clicking right now.
Yeah.
They look good on defense and offense.
Mhm.
Tua has gotten a lot better with getting the ball out his hands.
Yeah,
his release time was always good, but now it's
I don't know what he did.
So yeah, his release time is phenomenal right now, and decision making has gotten a lot better with the quicker release. So maybe they tweak something in the offense to give him more checkdowns, to read faster, whatever the case is. But if you get a chance to watch, you see how quick he makes a decision.
Yeah,
and it's they've been good decisions.
Yeah.
There you go.
They give me Houston 14 points.
That's disrespectful.
Super disrespectful.
Yeah, 14.
Yeah, Chicago and the Jets.
Going with the Jets.
Jets.
Fields is a little banged up with his shoulder. I think he played last week with a bum shoulder. And then it's a lot of, but on the other side with the Jets, they're trying to figure out, what quarterback they're gonna play.
Isn't that running back out for the season too?
I think so.
Tore ACL.
Oh yeah.
He is.
He's out. So that leading rusher is gone.
Gentlemen, people who've never played in the league kind of look at this. There's the QB1, QB2. How does Zach Wilson go from QB1 to street clothes?
Yeah, because they got White starting this week.
Because he was kind of confident when he sat up there, like, is there? No, it wasn't us. They got the problem. Next thing you know, he on street clothes on the sidelines. Explain that to us.
A lot of times what you say out your mouth on top of the performance that you're putting out.
Because they're all professionals. And the thing is, you
just dogged out your crew.
Yeah.
And there's certain things you just don't talk about to the press.
Yeah.
Certain things you keep
that in the house.
Yeah, that's in the house. That's that's our business.
Yeah, exactly.
That's our business over here.
So but I like even though Chicago, the Jets, they got too much turmoil going on with them, and being, I like Chicago in this game just because of this turmoil that's going on with the Jets right now.
I'm gonna go against you on this one. I'm gonna go with the Jets just because of the turmoil that's going on. Because I think you're gonna have some guys that step up. Yeah. They have to show it some type of way. Some type of way.
You can see that, and then they rally behind White with him being the odd man out. I can see that. Definitely can see that part. So yeah.
All right, who we got next?
We got Atlanta at Washington.
We already know who he going for and who I'm going for.
Shocking. Shocking. All righty. I'm Oxendine. What's up with the Commanders this week?
They've been playing, but the thing is, they haven't been playing well.
They've been playing very well.
They
had a couple letdowns in a couple games that came down to the last second. The Minnesota game and the game before that.
But they haven't been playing that well at home. 2-3 at home.
Home's not friendly to them.
Well, you got to understand, a couple of those losses were not due to Heineke.
Self-inflicted. Oh yeah, fumbles, those type of things. Yeah.
The last one, I was actually there. I don't understand how this guy, overthrows the receiver to the free safety that's deep. Hit him dead in the chest like a punt. But these type of things have, I guess, since been corrected. But I'm also looking at it's one Falcon that has constantly created turmoil for other teams, and he wears number 84. This guy is a monster. He is the size of a tight end, has the speed of a wide receiver, and soft hands. And he returned a kickoff last week, 102 yards. Outran everybody on coverage. Had to contain that young man.
So that's why Oxendine's sitting over there thinking that Atlanta got a shot.
Yeah.
Everybody has a shot. That's why we line up and play every day. So you line up.
Got to play the game.
Got to play the game because everybody look good on paper until you line up. For instance, and I'm gonna go back to it. You ain't gonna like it.
Here we go.
When you look at, and it's the only one we can hold it to right now until they lose another game. But they were the only undefeated team at home. Monday night.
It looked good.
It looked real good. Like most people think like, I'm gonna turn this off at halftime. I'm gonna watch some of it. And I'm gonna go to bed early, and it turned into staying up and watching the whole game.
Here's the thing: when you talk about teams not putting pretenders away, people start hanging around.
Then they get confidence.
They be like, "Yo, they ain't killed us yet." And next thing you know, here we are at the end of the game, and Philly does what we do, and it hurt. But you got to play the game.
You got to line up and play the game.
Yeah. And on top of that, no matter how bad those guys are who you're playing, they're lined up to win.
Yeah.
They were stars where they were before.
Mm-hmm.
They wasn't just like scrubs. They were scrubs in, college. They were scrubs. No, they were stars. And all of a sudden, here they get here, and all of a sudden, they're rolling up against another team. So, all right, thank you for that Philadelphia reference. I don't know how many more times you're gonna try and get that one in. That's it, but we're still what are we? Oh, 9-1.
Man, you're 9-1 right now.
That's how we can be, is
Yeah,
They
you're
have
9-1.
slight blemish.
Hey, let me tell you something. and I'm gonna say this as far as these undefeated records, these one-loss teams or whatever, they get to the playoffs and get knocked off because everybody thought New England was gonna do it that year, and they go all the way through and got knocked off.
It's a
So
big game.
and nobody's talking about their record anymore because they lost that game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, and New York, who has 2 Super Bowls, the Giants with Eli, they went to the playoffs, winning wild card games and won the bowl twice. So, like I said, that's why you line up and play the game.
There you go. All right, Ox, what you got next?
Got Denver and Carolina.
All right,
Too ugly.
go ahead, Deion Fox, get on the Russell Wilson.
I'm not on Russell Wilson. I don't know where you pulled that from.
No, you're saying they made the big trade.
Yeah, they made the big trade, and I guess they thought bringing him over. It's something I heard the other day. They were talking about it, and they were saying how Russell Wilson seems to be playing like he has something to prove. No, you've already proven who you are and what you can do. So why you feel like you still have something to prove? Just play and be yourself.
But if myself was intertwined with Seattle and that offense and all that, and I'm a big deal, I'm an institution there, all of a sudden I go somewhere else, it sort of means something that I'm here with you, but I got to prove myself to the Denver folks.
Yeah, you have to prove yourself to Denver, but you do that by being who you are.
Yeah.
What got you to Denver? What got you that big contract?
Okay.
Your play in Seattle.
Is Denver's coach going to make it to year 2? Because the word on the street is that his coaching is suspect at best.
It all depends. Are the people in the front office, the ownership, patient enough to see what he can do? Because you come in as a first-year coach, you can't change the culture in 1 year. I don't care where you are. In high school, you can't change the culture in 1 year. College, you can't.
Yeah, if you got them dudes.
And now you have grown men that make more money than you, and they know that their jobs are more secure than yours. You're not going to change the culture in 1 year. You have to, have them rally up and trust you, believe in what believe in your vision.
And that's the biggest part when you bring in a new quarterback, new coaching staff, new coordinators, whatever the case may be, they have to learn the system too. And that's what a lot of these owners, these ADs, these presidents don't get. I got a new head coach, and then he brings in staff, not his staff, but people that he knows from around the country. Now, they have to learn his philosophy, and then whatever they're teaching, now they got to teach to their coaches, and then their coaches got to learn it. And now with the quarterback, he got to learn the whole offensive terminology if they don't conform to what he is used to.
Really quickly, and this is off of the NFL beaten path, but so I saw that Penn State hired Manny Diaz from Miami. You used to be the head coach. Now all of a sudden you're the defensive coordinator. How does that conversation go with the guy who's there as the defensive coordinator right now?
It depends on how he's being brought in. If he's brought in as a consultant, now I'm feeling my feet on fire right now as a coordinator.
I'm not doing something I'm supposed to be doing. If he's bringing, like you said, as a consultant, if he's being brought in, to take over, then okay, I need to start making arrangements.
Yes,
because I haven't been doing what I need to be doing.
But I know I haven't been doing it. I can see handwritings on the wall. So even in college, it's still not for long.
It isn't, man. Everybody is
Especially coaches.
it's so many millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars that fall into their hands just off of going to these games.
Yeah.
These postseason bids just to go, like, it's not even about the playoffs anymore. It's about going to a bowl game.
And this is so crazy because when I was in school, 2 years, we made $21 million in 2 years. And basically, you could say a week. When you think about it, you're there for a week, and then you play a game. So you think about you make that amount of money, $11 million for a week.
Talking about the school now. Talking about the school.
Yeah.
Not the player.
Not the player.
Yeah.
It's the school.
The player's mama didn't.
That program.
Statement. Yeah.
That program. Yeah. Let's be clear.
And so when you think about that, and now that was in 97 and 96, 97. So now you look at these contracts by these, ESPN, the SEC network, the ACC network, they're making hand over fist. And now you get these other pieces that go along with it. Yeah, just like Deion said, these establishments are bringing in, life-changing money for that community, college, whoever it may be. Like right now, it's gonna be interesting with Deion. They went undefeated, so it's gonna be interesting what game they get and how that plays out.
There you go. Alrighty, back to the NFL. What we got next?
We got Baltimore and Jacksonville. Jacksonville, they continue to play well, but Baltimore, I see, I see Jacksonville running into a buzzsaw right here.
Yeah.
And
Baltimore seeming to be rounded into shape. Lamar Jackson, every game that goes by and he's still healthy, his numbers just keep going up.
Yeah.
I mean, just back to Brink's truck up because he getting paid.
At some point, he will be, man. They holding out on that boy, and they should go ahead and do something right now. He's more than proved his worth. And even though Baltimore's only a game ahead of Cincinnati in their division, but at the same time, that boy has, like you said, week in and week out, done his thing.
Now, is he a restricted free agent, or he'll be a free agent at the end of this?
He's a free agent at the end of this, so he's looking for his he was trying to get the contract extension or get it redone.
Yeah,
he doesn't. Like, he's still playing on his. Yeah.
Which is the part that bothers me.
Yeah.
I
don't like it because everybody else, they're getting their money.
And that's why, and that's where I do like Jerry Jones. Because with Dak,
he paid him.
Yeah. He was like, here you go, boom.
He squawked up it, then he
and it's not always that fast, but yeah, he does.
Yeah. But he didn't get this far into the season.
Yeah.
Because we 12 games of the season.
Yeah, we week 12. We week 12 right now. It is week 12.
And he ain't like he playing like some scrub.
And then I'm looking at, Calamari got all that money.
And he's sitting on the sideline.
And he's hurt on the sideline. And you look at their record right now, 4-7.
Yeah.
It's the opposite of what Baltimore is. Baltimore's 73.
Yeah.
But from an organizational standpoint, Baltimore, sometimes they kind of they play hardball.
They do.
Clearly, Arizona has.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh plays hardball too, because Pittsburgh don't like to pay people
at all.
I'm just being real. I mean, if you think about the history of it, think about how many times when they win the Super Bowl, and then the very next year, 4 or 5 key players in that Super Bowl are no longer. Yeah, they're no longer on that team.
Yeah.
And that's when you look at a team like that, then all of a sudden the culture, it ends up people coming and going. Alrighty, Ox, what do we got next?
We got LA, the Chargers, and Arizona. It depends on if Calamari plays. I think I think LA they still don't make me happy watching them. I thought they were the better team. They fired that coach in 2 years.
You're like, eh.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. That I think that's a professional insight.
Yeah, because
it's tough. It's tough, man. When you have 2 teams that are performing subpar,
it makes it so much better.
And the players, like, you see certain plays that drop balls,
Mhm.
missed tackles, things like that. Yeah, it's straight discipline that's going on. Like you taking your eye off the ball before you get it. That's the first down you needed to keep your drive going in that particular drive. Things like that. And now you punting.
Yeah.
It happened a couple times last week. I watched the Arizona game last week. It happened a couple times in the game last week. Dortch, a hometown boy with the Highland Springs High School, Wake Forest. He's getting another shot. He has more life down. The first couple games of the season, he's performing, and he dropped a couple balls last week. Even though he has Colt McCoy that's throwing him the ball now.
Yeah.
Colt McCoy been around since the 80s?
Oh God.
Colt McCoy is now 36, 37, 36.
Was he a coach somewhere at one point? And then he came back out.
I don't know. It seemed like he's been
Something like
around. All right, real quickly, De'Aaron Fox as a defensive guy. Who would you rather go up against, Tua or Kyler Murray? And what's the difference from the defensive standpoint between the two?
I would probably say Kyler. And the reason why I say Kyler, depending on the defense that I'm in, it'll be a little bit easier to try to contain somebody, get him to move around and throw the ball, throwing off balance more. It's a little more difficult. Tua, his release is a lot quicker than Kyler's here in the last couple of weeks. Not only that, his decision making, and a lefty at that. It's kind of like
because you go all year against all these
right-handed,
and then
you may have two lefties out of your 16 games. And then it's a whole new perspective because now the strong side of their offense flips for you. And even though he's in the pocket, his decision making and the adjustments that they made has made him that much better of a quarterback this year.
There you go, Ox. What we got next?
We got Las Vegas and Seattle. I like Las Vegas because it seems like they're on the same car, is on the same page as Adams now. Even though he's been throwing the ball like this.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're looking at that, looks like a look of skepticism on the face of the one and only De'Aaron Fox. He's looking like,
I'm just listening. I'm listening. No, I want. Please finish. Continue.
And I just because it has to, because it seems like he's gotten more thrown balls to him this year than what Carr had been doing to all his other players last year. And that was the problem. But now it seems like they're hopefully on the same page. If they can get on the same page, then maybe,
sound like a whole bunch of if it woulda, shoulda, couldas. But people,
I guess that's why you play the game.
People kind of put Carr and Kirk Cousins in the same car. A lot of times they're like, but Kirk Cousins, no matter what, sometimes he comes up and wins.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this about Derek Carr. His biggest downfall this particular season is that he got Devontae Adams.
Yeah, it is.
And in a good way, it helps, but in a bad way is that's all he was ever looking for. And he wasn't looking for the other weapons out there. You got four wides, but you throwing it to the same guy every single play. You can't you have to set that up. You forcing stuff, and that's why you only got 3 wins.
There you go. There you go. Ox, what we got next?
We got the Rams and Kansas City. This used to be, a good game to watch, but the Rams just aren't who they were. You got Aaron Donald is still out, or still banged up, and then also now you don't have Matthew Stafford in at quarterback. So the Rams are, they're just not that same team. So that's what you look at, and that's what you're looking for with them. And just Kansas City right now, so they're playing really, really good. Really good.
I think it's still going to be a close game, though, just because the level of competition between the two. It'll be close. It'll come down to who makes the least amount of mistakes in this game. It usually does.
You think?
I think so. And the reason why I say that is because, they're missing AD up front, but the rest of their defense is pretty sound. And you can't make mistakes. So if it's like anything else, Mike said it earlier, you let guys hang around.
Yeah.
They get a little bit of
confidence, and the confidence will overtake. And next thing you know, there's a swing on you, and the time's running out, and you down, 4 or 5, and you need a touchdown instead of a field goal, and you need to march down the field. why make it that hard on yourself?
Yeah.
There you go. What we got next?
We got New Orleans and San Francisco.
All right, who you got?
I've been waiting for New Orleans to play good, and they're just not. And so I like San Francisco in that game just because they are, they got a shot in the arm with McCaffrey, and they're just doing some things good. New Orleans they get plus 9.5, so somebody else likes them as well. So
Well, Debo is doing what Debo does. McCaffrey is doing what he does in this offense. It seems like he has a lot more confidence now that he came over to San Francisco. He's like he got new life.
mm-hmm.
I mean, he got a swag that he went over there. They're winning. He shows up. Life looks good. I mean, he's running. He doesn't have that same old stuff back in Carolina.
And this other thing is consistency now. They're and that's the biggest thing with players is that because Carolina's been through 3 coaches since he's been there.
Mm-hmm. All right. Okay. So now what happens next year for the QB for San Francisco?
He goes back to QB2 or he signs with somebody else.
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen.
Garoppolo?
He goes to QB2 or he signs with someone else.
Sir. Wait. What happened?
Go ahead. You going to do something?
I was. Nope. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a break. We'll be right back.
Blast me. But Packers, Eagles next.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. NFL Talk, Fox and Ox. Mike King here, ESPN Richmond. All righty, Ox, what's the next game we got?
Packers and the Eagles.
You know where I'm lying at this one right here.
Now, this is the problem with what's happening. We're getting ready to have the y'all this week. Aaron Rodgers has figured out something with his guys.
What did he figure it out?
How they win games.
How to use them.
Yep. And so y'all got this gonna be the test, the big test for him.
It's gonna be a test. It's gonna be a test for Philly.
Yeah.
It's always a test. But the thing is, it seems like Aaron Rodgers seems like he's about ready for this year to be done. He doesn't have the look of going and getting it.
At one point, he didn't. It was a look of kind of like bewilderment. Okay. Who do I have? Who can I trust?
Mm-hmm.
And now he's found 2 guys on top of the running backs that he has. So
okay, good. All righty, Ox, who we got next?
Pittsburgh and the Colts.
Here we go.
I like the Colts, and just because they got Matt Ryan back in there, he's top. What's crazy statistically, he's doing well. And Jeff Saturday, whatever he's saying to those guys over there, they're playing in Pittsburgh. They're just not playing Pittsburgh football right now.
No, they are not, and it's a shame the way they look.
I had heard Mike Tomlin. He were talking about him going to TV.
Pittsburgh, they stick behind their guys, and I think
yes, they do.
I don't know if he go to TV yet.
Not just yet.
I think with having a young quarterback, he wants to now because I think who's the coach before Cowher? He drafted Ben. So I think he wants to now get
his guy, and that's gonna be his guy for his legacy.
Yeah. So and that because you think about really what Ben and what when he came in, really, Cowher bring him in. He won Super Bowls with him, and then the defense changed. It was always a defensive minded game, and but now you're gonna see that other part to his legacy if he can right this ship.
There you go. All righty, last game. Who we got?
Oh, that was it.
That was it.
Last
All right, really quickly. All right, so Ox and Fox NFL Talks. We're gonna bring my man Jeff Moten in here. He rocking the Grambling gear. Jeff, come on, pull the chair around in here. We need a microphone.
I can speak up. Oh, good.
Manuel's gonna look at that and say, "No, you're not speaking."
You got to speak real loud for that one.
Doing that. All right, B. Let me get no, that way because you know what? Yeah, that way you guys can switch. Yeah, that right. That work.
You good? You good?
All righty. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is time we're switching up right now. Jeff Moten. He is the owner of a local business here. It's called Physical. And really quickly, but now he is here not as the owner of Physical, but he is here talking about the classic that is coming up this weekend. He is rocking his Grambling gear. Welcome to the program, sir.
Thank you, 49th annual Bayou Classic is about to start in about 48 hours.
Okay,
HBCU Classic.
and as you say, the winner of that gets to play who?
Oh,
So yeah, it's gonna be a little tough. It's gonna be a little tough, but it's always a great, you throw out the
Well, Mike,
records.
too close to you.
You definitely throw out the records when you play the Bayou Classic. So we've been down and out. We've had great games there. So just looking forward to a good battle. I think tonight is the Battle of the Bands, Greek show, parades, real good time in New Orleans.
And when we walked in, you say you are a
Grambling alumni, Grambling State University.
and you're Divine Nine. Which one are you? You are an Alpha.
Which one? Yeah, Alpha Phi Alpha.
And Deion Fox is here, and he is a
Omega Sapphire.
shocking. Shocking. That is, ladies and gentlemen. All right,
We're all having good conversation.
It is great conversation. Hey, let's talk about the whole HBCU emergence now with football being on TV and all that. It seems like it's really kind of caught on. I mean, besides Deion, it's here local. We see Union, we see Virginia State on local. Talk about why that's important.
It's
No, I think it's very important. I think what Deion has done for HBCU football, I don't even think another player could have done that. I mean, it's just been amazing. I mean, just to see, I've got some of my alumni, some frat brothers. I mean, we're like, let's go to a Jackson State game, wherever they're playing. I've talked to people. Jackson State was in Houston a week ago, sold out, wherever they go. It's a show. And I think, when you have someone like Deion, then you'll get someone like a Hugh Jackson, who is now at Grambling, and you get the other coach who was at Tennessee State, and you start getting great, football players coming back to, train, HBCU teams and working with HBCU teams. And I think everyone wins at that point. But I love the fact of what he's doing and what he's all about.
And one of the other sides to it is just bringing that community because of, I really feel now when you think about the past and where HBCUs, when you look at the historical component of it, when you look back in the number of NFL greats that has come out of the when the schools weren't integrated, you really look at those parts and those pieces and you're just like, wow. And then, and now you're getting a movement that could change the course of football, even basketball. You're seeing some basketball kids who are, making a decision to go to some HBCU. So you really could see the landscape of football change if the right people are helping them move that curve.
There you go. Jeff Moten, how can people go real quickly? Give up the 30-second about Physical.
Physical Therapy and Balance Center. We are a physical therapy clinic and also do balance training for different people who are dealing with different issues, sprains, knees, all of that kind of stuff. Our first location is in Short Pump area. We've got another location opening up in about 3 to 4 months, probably sometime first quarter 2023 in actually this area, the Bon Air, Chesterfield area.
All right, Ken Oxendine.
There it is. We got boxsportsgroup.com, Ken Oxendine at gmail.com, all thing SG box. We're trying to connect the dots in the community and do the things necessary to help everybody.
Atlanta Falcons. There you go. Your claim to fame. Deion Fox.
5756 Foundation. I'm sitting here smiling at Ken because that's my boy right there. Okay,
that's the condensed version. Well, that's like the low key, like I'm just Ken Oxendine. I'm just like we didn't hear Michael Vick's name. We didn't hear number 9.
It was at the end of the show. I was just trying to spit it all out.
5756foundation.org. Mr. Fox at 5756foundation.org. Mr. Fox57 at gmail.com. Also, Deion.Fox at NFLalumni.org. Have a few things coming up. Golf tournament coming up this spring. Raise money for vets and children in the area. And have a couple other projects coming up. So I'll bring you up to date as we get closer to it. But as always, staying in the community and making sure that we caring for the kids here.
And doing those things to help them.
There you
Help
go.
everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's what we do here. We talk to the game changer. So people can't see in the building. So we got Deon Fox, Ken Oxendine, Jeff Moten. My man Radio B came in, and we're gonna talk to him next about all the great things. So you don't even realize how I know you. And see, the one thing is really quick. Okay, man, can I get there you go. All righty. So I get invited to a meeting by Mark Cheatham. So Cheat says, I have this men's group. I want come on and check it out. And I go there. I don't know anybody. But when you go in there and you hear somebody who's talking, and there's that voice that everybody's listening to, okay, who the hell's that guy? Because all of a sudden there's a clarity and stuff. So he is a local talent. So he's known as a rapper guy, but you're a rapper, you're a business person. We're going to talk about the business side of the rap game and also being a community advocate. And so that's why the young man is here, right here, doing some major things out there. And that's what we do here. We give a platform to folks to tell their story. So on the mic with Mike, ESPN Richmond. This is part of the Mike King Biz Radio Network. ESPN Richmond 5 to 7 in the morning. The Choice 105.3 every day from 2 to 3, as well as International Business Growth Radio. We do like LeBron. We take our talents on the road. We got to run. As I always say, make sure you take a listen to our sponsors and advertisers because the microphone ain't free. Plus, my grandkids need stuff. Yes, they do. And my wife told me to say that, so I'm saying it, y'all. Go ahead and support us out here so we can stay on the air. We are the only business radio program around. So thanks for taking the time to listen. On the mic with Mike, we out. Thanks now. See you.
Boom.